Number 94, Air, or rather VTR 102466, Air 11366, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. I have left the terrifying shadows of Collinwood to continue a search that has occupied most of my life. A search to discover the secret of my identity. I have just met a friendly and understanding stranger who might help me end that search. Back in Collinsport, Carolyn Stoddard is searching too, for love and understanding and peace of mind.
Okay, it's not that funny.
I thought it was. As a matter of fact, I thought it was terribly funny.
Carolyn, you know, you and I have known each other most of our lives. Don't you know I can read you like a book?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I know when you're having a good time, and I also know when you're just pretending to have a good time. And that's what you're doing now.
Am I?
You've been nervous as a cat ever since you walked through that door. How come?
Well, if I have been nervous, I have every right to be. Anybody would be nervous living in that house of horrors where I live. Especially now.
Especially now? What are you talking about?
Oh, well, I hadn't planned on telling you. I really hadn't planned to mention it to anyone.
Well, you better tell me. I want to know what's going on.
Vicky claims to have seen a ghost. The ghost of Bill Malloy.
Vicky claims she saw Malloy's ghost? Hey, you gotta be kidding.
I wish I were.
Well, she really believes this?
She's quite convinced of it.
Well, now, you don't believe it, do you?
I don't want to believe it. I want to believe that she was only dreaming. And yet, I don't know.
Listen, Carolyn, I have lived in Collinwood all my life. Now, I've heard all the stories about the spooks and the hobgoblins that are supposed to go roaming around up at Collinwood. Now, when I was a kid, I believed in them. I'm not a kid anymore. Neither are you.
Of course I'm not a kid.
Well, then you can't believe this wild story of Vicky. She probably had a nightmare. They can seem pretty real sometimes.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's change the subject.
Okay. I just don't want you to be scared half out of your wits by something that does not exist.
Please, Joe. I came here to forget about that dungeon, not to talk about it. Can't we change the subject?
All right. How about talking about us?
What about us?
What's going on with us, Carolyn? I mean, really going on. Why did you call me tonight and ask me to bring you here?
Because I wanted to see you. Because I'm sorry I got mad at you.
You got sorry after the last time we had a fight, after I said no to that promotion at the cannery. Then you turned right around and got mad at me all over again.
Well, that was different. Do you expect me to approve of your dates with other girls?
Oh, Carolyn, now you know there's nothing between Maggie Evans and me.
Maybe I do. Maybe that's why I apologized. Can't you accept my apology?
Well, as long as you don't change your mind about me as often as you change your dress.
That's not fair.
I just want to be sure of you, Carolyn, and I'm not.
You should be. Joe, I called you tonight because I wanted to be with you more than anybody else in the world.
Does anybody include Burke Devlin?
Joe, please. I said I want to be with you. Don't you want to be with me?
You know the answer to that.
Maggie, hi. Hello, Mr. Evans.
Hello, Joe.
Hi, Maggie.
Well, my daughter decided to accompany me on my nightly visit. Well, I'm surprised to see so many people out on a cold, blowy night like this?
I think cold, blowy nights are the best nights for having fun.
Oh, you could be right. Well, if you'll excuse us.
Oh, won't you join us?
Well,
No, please. We have plenty of room.
Maggie?
We don't want to intrude.
You won't be intruding. Will they, Joe?
No, of course not.
Just some coffee for me, thank you.
Brandy, please. So, tell me some more about Vicki Winters.
Haven't you heard enough?
I hardly know anything about you. Just that you were raised in a foundling home, that you went to work as a governess for the Collins family a couple of months ago, and that you're trying to discover your mother's identity. That's it. Period.
That's all there is to tell.
I doubt that. Tell me, Vicki, when did you start this search to track down your mother?
Just a few days ago, when I found the name Hanscom on that old ledger sheet, and I remembered it was the name of the girl in the portrait that looked so much like me. But I've wanted to know who she is all my life.
Why?
That's an odd question.
Not really. Some foundlings, well, they don't want to know where they come from. They're afraid to know.
I'm not afraid, no matter what I find out.
It's that important to you, huh?
Mm-hmm. It has been ever since I was 9 years old.
Well, what happened when you were 9 years old?
It's not something I tell very many people.
Well, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Oh, but I want to tell you.
Okay, it's up to you.
When I was 9, a woman came to the foundling home, a nurse. She was very kind to me. I was her favorite.
And you got attached to her.
More than attached. I loved her. And little by little, I began to pretend that she was my mother. She was the kind of mother I always wanted to have.
And then?
And then she got another job and moved away. And I had to realize that I wasn't her little girl, that I wasn't anybody's, that I was nothing.
So you decided to find out who your real mother is?
Mm-hmm. To find her, and perhaps to find myself. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense to me.
Does it?
Yes. If I were in your place, I'd be asking the same questions and searching for the same answers.
But I have to be realistic, because I may never find the answers, and it may always be a mystery to me.
Not if I can help it. I like mysteries, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help you solve this one.
Not so strong, I understand.
I love that dress, Maggie. Blue is such a becoming color on you.
Thank you, Carolyn.
You want to dance?
Oh, I don't want to waste that dreamy music. Will you excuse us?
Why'd you do that?
Do what?
Ask Maggie and her father to join us?
I didn't think you'd object.
I don't, but you're not answering my question.
Well, in the first place, I was being polite. And in the second place, I want Maggie to know there are no hard feelings about your date with her.
Is that it?
Of course. What is this, a cross-examination? Don't you believe me?
Calm down, calm down. Yes, yes, I believe you.
Penny for your thoughts.
Don't squander your money.
Does it bother you seeing them together?
Don't be ridiculous. Of course it doesn't bother me.
Well, I hope not. I wouldn't want you to waste your time waiting for something you'll probably never get. Darling, there comes a time when you've got to bow to the inevitable.
Pop, just this once, will you spare me your wise old sayings?
I told you I'm fine, and I am. Now, let's just drop the subject.
Whatever you say.
Tracking down a single Hanscom may not be easy. Woods are full of them. Hanscom's a popular name around here.
I know.
So I'll start making some phone calls in the morning, and who knows? Maybe I'll come up with something sooner than I think.
You're awfully kind to someone you've only known for a day.
Vicky, it's very easy to be kind to you. And besides, I have a selfish motive. If I come up with something, it'll give me a chance to see you again.
Frank?
Hi, Dad. What are you
Hello,
doing
Miss
here?
Winters.
Hello, Mr. Garner.
Why, they told me at the office where you were. Something's come up that I thought you ought to know about. The Anderson will's coming up for probate sooner than we thought. I want you to get out that first thing in the morning.
I'll do that. And let that be a great lesson to me. Never tell your secretary where you can be reached after office hours.
I didn't mean to intrude. My apologies, Miss Winters.
Oh, of course not.
Come on, Dad. Sit down and have a brandy with us.
Well, only if I'm not intruding.
Word of honor.
Well, in that case, I won't refuse. Well, thank you. And a brandy, please. Well, I hope your day in Bangor has been a pleasant one, Miss Winters.
Well, except for this morning, it has.
I'm sorry that I couldn't be more informative.
I understood.
I was just telling Vicky, Dad, that I'm going to do everything in my power to track down Bea Hanscom. Now, if she's still living in this area, I may have a good chance.
It's a tall order, Frank. There are lots of Hanscoms around here.
I just told Vicky the same thing, but it's certainly worth a try, and I intend to try.
I wouldn't put too much faith in his enthusiasm, Miss Winters. Frank's the kind of lawyer who loves an uphill fight and lost causes.
Lost causes? Aren't you taking a defeatist attitude, Dad?
Oh, I don't mean it to sound that way. I just don't want Miss Winters to get her hopes too high. She could be letting herself in for a terrible disappointment.
Remember when we used to take long walks all the way up to Eagles Point?
Now, we haven't done that in a long time, not since we were in high school.
I know. But we should again soon. Maybe someday.
Okay, if you want.
Well, I've got to be going.
Oh, so early.
Well, 6:30, I have to open up the coffee shop.
Wait a minute, Maggie. I'll walk you home. It's a bad night, and I wouldn't want to see you going home by yourself.
Pop, I'm a big girl. I can take care of myself.
Well, anyway, I'd feel safer if I knew you were at home safe. I'd feel a lot better about it. So, let's have one more drink, and then we'll be on our way, huh?
Okay, but just one.
Waiter.
By the way, where's Vicky? She hasn't stopped by the hotel for a few days.
Yeah, I haven't seen her when I've come to pick you up. She gone into hiding?
Oh, haven't you heard? She's gone to Bangor.
That's odd.
Odd?
Well, I saw her a few days ago, and she didn't mention a trip to Bangor.
Oh, well, it came up suddenly. She decided she wanted to get away from Collinwood.
It's probably a good thing. Sounds like she needs a rest.
What do you mean?
Vicky claims to have seen a ghost.
A ghost?
Bill Malloy's ghost.
Malloy.
That's right. She even claims it talked to her.
That doesn't sound like Vicky.
No, I agree. That's why I said she probably needs a rest. She probably had this terrible nightmare, and now she's believing it actually happened.
Well, where did she see this, this thing?
In Collinwood.
And what did it say to her?
Oh, Pop, you sound as if she saw something real. You don't believe in the boogeyman, do you?
No, but just out of curiosity, what did it say?
To stay away from Collinwood. That she was in danger there.
That's all.
That's all she told me.
I see.
Well, maybe she does need a rest. How many days does she plan to stay in Bangor?
I don't know. A few.
But won't she be lonesome in a strange city all by herself?
She's not alone. She's very definitely not alone.
I didn't know she had friends in Bangor.
She hasn't.
I don't understand.
She went there with a friend. A very intimate friend.
Anyone I know?
Burke Devlin.
Burke.
You didn't tell me that.
The subject never came up.
Well, what's she doing in Bangor with Burke Devlin?
I don't know. Ask Vicky.
Well, let's dance.
Not right now, Joe. I'm not in the mood.
I am. Come on, let's dance.
All right. You didn't have to bark at me.
You must take me for a prize sap.
What's that supposed to mean?
You don't think I know why you called me tonight?
I told you why. Several times to be exact. Because I wanted to see you.
You're lying.
What?
I said you were lying. You called me for the same reason you called me before, because you're jealous of Vicky and Burke.
That is ridiculous.
I don't think so. You may not believe this, Carolyn, but I do have eyes and ears. I know what's going on.
You can't call me a liar, Joe Haskell. You or anybody else.
You can't expect me to come crawling back every time Devlin isn't around. Now, you better start understanding that right now.
All right, I've heard enough. Take me home.
Not until you listen to what I have to say, and I've
if
got
you
plenty.
don't take me home, I'm going to walk.
And do you plan to visit Bangor again in the near future, Miss Winters?
I'm not sure.
I intend to provide Vicky with a reason to come back, Dad. A good reason.
Well, I've intruded long enough. I'll say good night, Miss Winters.
Good night, Mr. Garner, and thank you again for seeing me.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Dad, can I have a word with you before you go?
Certainly.
Would you excuse us, Vicky?
Of course.
Yes, what is it?
Dad, you don't have anything against Vicky, do you?
Against her? Why should I have anything against her?
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Of course I don't have anything against her. She's a lovely young woman. If I were your age, I'd take her out to dinner, too.
Well, you sounded so pessimistic about her chances of finding this handsome woman. It was as if you didn't even want her to try.
No, you misunderstood. I just didn't want you to get her hopes up too high.
Well, you don't mind my trying to help her, do you?
Certainly not. Go right ahead if you're that interested in helping her.
Well, I am. And I'm not nearly as pessimistic about the outcome as you are.
There's just one thing to keep in mind, Frank.
What's that?
Elizabeth Stoddard is our client, not Victoria Winters.
What's that mean?
Just something to keep in mind. Good night, son. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, Dad.
Your father seems to think I'm on a wild goose chase.
I know.
Is something the matter?
Oh, no. Would you like some more coffee?
Yes, I think I would. I've got to face that long drive back to Collinsport.
Waiter?
Waiter.
Pop, you promised me that would be your last.
Next to last. This will be the last one.
You said that 3 drinks ago. Oh, I give up.
Oh, Maggie, I really need it. I need it very badly right now.
Why right now?
Because of ghoulies and ghosties and long-legged beasties and things that go bump in the night.
You must be loaded.
Oh, no, not yet, not yet.
And don't talk that way. You make me nervous. Hi, Joe.
You mind if I sit down?
Of course not. Is Carolyn all right?
She's home, if that's what you mean.
Oh, speaking of home, Joe, would you mind seeing Maggie home?
Oh,
Pop.
couldn't mind anything less.
I thought you were going to walk me home.
Well, I want to take a long walk, and I won't be home till quite late.
Good night, Mr. Evans.
Bob.
Right, Maggie?
Well, Pop's nothing if he's not unpredictable. I'm sorry I got foisted off on you.
Oh, listen, do you hear me complaining?
Well, you should.
I'm the best judge of that.
Well, why don't you tell me some more about your boat, Joe? The one you plan to buy.
You're a nice girl, Maggie Evans.
What brought that on?
Well, you haven't asked me what happened between Carolyn and myself.
Well, I figured you'd tell me if you wanted me to know.
You're right.
Do you mind one question?
What's that?
Why did you come back?
For a brush-up?
A what?
The lesson you were giving me the other evening. I need to brush up on my knowledge of seacraft. Come on now, Professor. See if you can do this now. Name for me all the sails of a full-rigged ship under all plainsail.
Okay. 1 flying jib, 2 jib, 3 fore topmast staysail, 4 foresail, 5 foregaff topmast.
Come share a wondrous world of make-believe when Samuel Goldwyn presents Hans Christian Andersen starring Danny Kaye, a fabulous musical fable in color, tomorrow night here on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.